Alrighty. Good afternoon. Welcome to the BNR. Oh, I don't have my cameras. There we go. That's what I wanted. Sorry. Welcome to the BNR Xfinity Series playoff race number 4. Round 1. Points are very, very close. It is going to be a fun one. Nashville, 135 laps. 188 miles, 6 sets of tires, 50%. Oh, wait. While we're doing that, that's right. I'll do that real quick. Get all this stuff out the way. Anyway, we'll go over this real quick. As you see here, track temp 103. All the blah, blah, and Lebanon, Tennessee. As you see here, the Nashville 188, race number 4. Current weather outside is 81 degrees Fahrenheit, 42% humidity, partly cloudy, 5 mile per hour wind. 50% fuel, excuse me. 6 sets of tires, 135 laps, which is 188 miles. They get one quick fix tonight and a green-white checkered. Yes. And once again, as always, like to thank Track Cams for their cameras and helping us out here. So as you see there, Brandon Moore is on top, and he is the only one locked in. Alongside of me tonight is Will. Hello, Will. Sorry.
Hello.
This is a cutoff race, so be prepared to look for the carnage. Tonight is iRacing cautions only, and they're doing a no black flag clearing tonight, so it'll be interesting. But well,
You
why
gonna
don't you
share
give
your
these?
screen with me?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Hope you do.
Why don't you give these folks a little rundown of the track, because you know a lot about tracks like this. Reminds me of, well, it's concrete, I know that. So, go ahead.
Yes, Nashville. It was a track that was built and designed, I want to say in 2001, 2002, somewhere around that area. Similar to Kentucky, but it's a 1.33 miles length. Not quite a mile and a half, a true mile and a half. It's also somewhat narrow to be compared to, like, say, Chicagoland or Kentucky, Las Vegas. Very tight corners as far as you got to just let it roll a little bit. You got to be very careful getting back to the throttle. Sometimes you could get loose coming out the corners, but it is a fairly simple, I guess if you want to call it, mile and a half. But like you said, it is concrete, so that does come into play as far as sometimes being hard to put rubber down or just getting the traction you need.
Oh, yeah. That is correct, Will. Concrete tracks are
Also,
slick anyway. So, you see Joe Stite. And like I said, well, the only one locked in right now is the Brandon Moore himself. So, I do believe this is going to be a transition. The last time we were here, we know it went very well. But unfortunate circumstances happened towards the end. So, but you know, Nashville could bring some good racing. Sometimes it can, sometimes it can't. But we'll just wait and see tonight, and we'll do our thing. All right. we will go over this starting grid. Alright, so P1 will be Brandon Moore, P2 will be Zach Rongich, P3 will be Matthew Huntsaker, P4 will be John Held, welcome John, P5 will be Justin Steves, P6 will be Jaden Sanchez, P7 will be Chris Schaefer, P8 will be Tyler Myers, P9 will be Ernie King, P10 will be Skylar Sixton, P11 will be Randy Koch, and P12 will be Nick Rader. P13 will be Joe Stipe, P14 will be Josh Small, P15 will be Kyle Heath, P16 will be Jacob Carter, P17 will be Philip Bridgman, P18 will be James Sellner, P19 will be Zach Deuscher, P20 will be Jim Coleman'sberger. So that is that. We'll go ahead and whenever we get going here. Alright, well, 135 laps. I mean, it should transition over.
Yes, as you aforementioned, Brandon Moore, the only one locked into the next round at the moment. This is a cutoff race, so he can do any type of strategy he wants. He can kind of just let it all hang out if he dares, and tries to get all he can get tonight. John Held, like he said, in the race tonight. That's good to see John here. Hasn't raced in BNR in a good minute, but we normally see him over in the SRU side of things. Brandon Moore qualified on the pole, Rongich alongside of him. Those two have been neck and neck all season in every BNR series. And the initial start, pretty even Stevens for everyone involved. So they climb up through the gears, getting into turn one.
As Brandon Moore goes into turn one, setting the pace, a quarter of a second back is Rongich as Brandon leads the first lap. You see Kyle Heath getting her down there, and woo, Nelly.
Yeah, Justin Steves almost got a little bit of a door slam by Heath, but Heath, just like you said, he just sent it in there in turn one. A lot of racing room by the two, but almost did a dirty slide into the 25. Good to see Justin here. Oh, man. Yes, that nationwide car became a lawnmower. Problems early on for the 88 machine. Hate to see that for Rongich. He dropped all the way to last place. Man, went from second to last, 0 to 0.
But well, Rongich is a great driver, a great competitor. He can get his way back up there.
Yeah, it probably had a snappy oversteer coming off of turn 4, and just either that or he could have tank slapped the wall, and the wall could have like sponged him out down into the grass. We didn't get a great look at it. Maybe we can go back and look at it later. But
Philip Bridgman in that Shamu car.
Yes, Jimmy Johnson painted him at the Lowe's Shamu car.
Jacob Carter here tonight. P14 right now. There they go.
Oh, Randy around. That's a caution. Caution is out. I think Randy might have had some help. Not 100% sure. Phillip went extremely wide.
As we see here,
Who's in the 31?
Zach Boyce.
Oh, Deutscher. Gotcha. Oh, Randy had to check up for Skyler. Skyler got a bit crossed up in the middle of 1 and 2. And by the time Randy got there, he got into the back of him. Randy had to check up, and it was just one of those chain reaction things.
Oh yeah.
Not a whole lot of damage done by all these cars here, caught up in this unfortunate melee. There you see Skyler does a gnarly slide job and comes up, gets Randy all sorts of crossed up and gets him out of the throttle. And Deutscher just unfortunately wrong place, wrong time. I was hearing that tires are going to be a big factor here tonight. Fuel only about 30 to 34 laps on a tank of fuel for the ones who are pushing. The ones who might be wanting to save might be able to get 2 to 3 laps more. If we do have the green flag running that we suspect to see. So we got a couple of guys that stayed out. I want to say the top 5 here stayed out. Sanchez, Hunsaker.
I pressed the wrong button. I just
you
reloaded
did.
it.
We got a.
Yep, I reloaded all their cars.
Yeah.
There we go. We're back. Sorry, guys.
I was going to say Star Wars The Clone Wars is out on the track there. How long is it going to take for everybody to get loaded back in? Oh, okay, it's slowly. It's just plume, plume, plume. Anyway, top 5 I do believe stayed out. Sanchez, Hunsaker, Schaefer, Steves, and King. That is the top 5. And they did stay out. I wonder how they will be able to manage with that basically 5 to 6 laps older tire. Nick Rader possibly could have stayed out as well, or did some type of strategy to get him all the way up there. I think he might have did some strategy. I'm not 100% sure.
But Jaden Sanchez, I do believe he is in a must-win situation. Same thing with Schaefer. But if they possibly can get a good board tonight, they should be able to get themselves in. But I do believe Jaden is the one in the must-win, and Schaefer, and somebody else. I forgot to put Raider in blue. Raider's locked in.
Great restart by Jaden Sanchez in that 2 car. Gets off to a tremendous hole shot. About some 3 wideness back there, just about. Everybody trying to get settled back into a rhythm here. We only had about 5, maybe 6 laps, and then our first caution struck of the night. Getting back under pace here. Schaefer trying to reel in Sanchez. Schaefer seems to have plenty of pace here. Ernest King, already one of those that have been swallowed up by the wild pack of dogs with the fresh tires. Looks like Justin Steves will be the next one if he can not hold it up in front of him. But I can imagine that 5-lap fresher tires could mean a lot here at this concrete surface.
Oh yeah, but Dover's the same way, Will, concrete, but it's a lot smaller than Nashville. It chews extra tires very bad, and it's a bad thing. Oh, something happened to Kyle.
Yes, Kyle Heath is out of the race. That is very unfortunate. Didn't notice that until you mentioned it. Big single file line here, all the way that converts to pretty much all throughout the field. Single file that is on the straightaways kind of gets spread out a little bit in the corners. You can see the different competitors using a couple of different lines through the corners. Ernest, had a bobble right there.
He thought he was
trying to
clear,
get,
but he wasn't.
Yep. He was trying to get back down in, behind Skyler in front of Held, and just almost mistimed it, but luckily he was able to avoid all of it.
Okay, Skyler 16 is leading that second pack there, Will, from 7th all the way down to somewhere down there. Okay, so 17. So from 7th to 17th, that is one big pack. Then from 6 on up is all right there. So, wrong gets rebounded. Oh, I do believe Philip Bridgman and wrong gets made contact a little bit.
They might have.
But I do believe Philip gave him back the spot.
Yes, that was very tight racing. I don't know if they did make contact. I don't see any damage on the passenger side of the Ronick-mobile.
I don't think so.
It was very close, that's for sure. It was just beyond our camera angle. You got to be very careful going side by side with people here at Nashville in the corners, because it might step away from you, and if you do hit that flat down there, that apron, that asphalt, it will shoot you more than likely back up a lane. So you got to be extra careful there. Sanchez doing a good job leading this field. Schaefer about almost a second behind him now, just riding. So Hunsaker right there in the 4 car, just riding as well. Not really applying too much pressure. Then you got Nick Rader and Brandon Moore right behind Hunsaker. Really surprised with the pace that Justin Steves has been able to maintain and keep with all the guys that took pressure tires. Schaefer had a moment, walked it up the track on the exit of turn 2. That allows Hunsaker to get ever so slightly closer, and he goes to make a pass for that second place.
As Hunsaker tries to take that P2 away from Hunsaker. Doesn't quite get it. They stay even as we got this big gaggle of cars back here. Wow, Jaden's really pulling away, ain't he?
Well, because this battle is ensuing, that is allowing Sanchez to just pull away ever so slightly more. Now it's a 4-car battle for second place. About to be a 5-car battle. Oh, contact was made with Schaefer and Hunsaker. Schaefer possibly got loose, maybe some oversteer down the track. He came into the 4-car. Hunsaker able to get it under control and not spin out as he went bajaing through the grass. Oh, we got another stack up coming out of turn 4. Marley had to get out of it. He had to backpedal. That allowed Held to get out of it, and Wrongage about ran him over. You can see how momentum-based Nashville Speedway, Super Speedway is. If you have to get out of the throttle or you have to lose more momentum than you planned, you will start stacking up that group that you're in. Sanchez now has a comfortable 2.5 second lead over Brandon Moore, but now that Brandon Moore has some clean air, he has got past Raider. He is now on the charge and going to try to run down Sanchez.
Oh yeah, he's closing in fast, Will. But yet again, that comes with fresh tires too. But we can't assume that Brandon Moore took fresh tires, because we don't know. Like I said, these boys are limited here tonight, so with 6, and I'm sure they'll get everything worked out. And I'll let you see Jacob Carter passing Justin Stevens, Ford B4. Always good to see Justin around. Matthew Hunsaker
That
now
indeed,
in the
and
pits.
yes, I would not be surprised if that is relatable to the damage he sustained with that contact with Schaefer. And he just said, hey, I can't drive this anymore with the damage I have. Got to get it repaired. But, yeah, it's good to see Justin here hanging really strongly in the top 5 at the moment.
Zach
He was
Deutscher
one.
there.
Yeah, Deutscher closing. Oh, it's all good. Deutscher closing in for a top 5 position. Not surprised at all to see him making his way through the field. There was a lot of competitors that did not qualify tonight, and I believe he was one of them.
But, well, you know and I know, Zach Deutscher's a hell of a competitor, so I'll go out there, he'll give you everything he's got, and do it with respectfully, though, so.
Yes, Deutscher's a very goodwill man.
As Zach Deutscher applies pressure to the back of that 25 Chevrolet, as Zach Deutscher makes his pass on Justin Steves, clears it, and that will take away the P5 from Justin. It is still a long race. Well, these boys have a lot of laps to go.
Yeah, just 110 laps remaining. Just around that 109.
So how many laps of field did they get? Sorry, my apologies.
Between 30 to 34.
That's going to be a good one. It's 135. We'll see. See how it plays out. But you see, Zach Rongich getting to Justin Steves. It looks like Rongich has some damage on his nose there. A little bit.
I would
hard to tell.
I would not be surprised because it probably occurred during one of the stacking ups that we've had. We've had a couple of stack ups, log jams. Sometimes, though, these paint schemes that these drivers get can be a little bit deceiving, though. Yeah, Justin Steve's not doing too bad of a job hanging tough inside the top 10. Only losing a few positions from this restart that he had. He was one of the 5 drivers that stayed out with old tires. But like you aforementioned, we don't really know who took fresh, who took rights, or who did what. So
exactly. Strategies
Nick
bold
Rader.
here. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say Nick Rader got caught out coming out of turn 2, and I think he almost hit the wall. He lost a couple of spots there as well. So Deutscher now up into 4th, charging after Carter.
John Hale looking real good, the other Canadian out there. So Phil isn't the only one. So
you could almost call Deutscher Canadian too. He's almost up there. He's in that Wisconsin area.
That's
Yep.
what I thought. Yeah.
He's
I almost
there.
want to say Michigan, but I'm like, oh, I better not say that.
No,
Anywho.
he's next state over.
Yep. Anywho, Will, so far so good. And now I said that, now I kind of jinxed it, but it's okay. Jacob must have gotten a little loose there and that almost slapped the wall there, Will.
Yeah, we should be seeing the 5 or 6 drivers that stayed out on our first caution. We should be seeing them pit sometime soon in the near future, in about 5 laps or so, if that. So be on the lookout for Sanchez and Steve.
And Hunsaker already came in.
Yeah, Hunsaker had that damage with Schaefer. Schaefer and
that's it, Schaefer.
Ernest.
Mm-hmm. I forgot about that.
So
there you go, Jaden Sanchez. And now in the pits, Brandon Moore
okay, so
now shuffles out to be your leader.
yeah,
So
he has almost a 2-second lead over Jacob Carter.
Yep, and there's Ernest King now coming in. Brandon Moore does like this track, so he did very good here in the trucks, Will. That is.
It's an easy track to like. It's a fairly simple track. It's also very simple to overdrive as well. Nick Rader, oh man, almost missed the pits. But it's also a pretty fun track. It's a track that you can't believe you're going as fast as you are at this type of track. Even though you do go kind of slow in the center of the corner, but you know, oh, Wallingich getting really caught up there, trying to go into the pits with Justin Steve. Steve goes into the pits too.
Philip Richmond looking good tonight. I told him, I said, you need to make me proud, boy. He is. I can tell you right now, Philip Richmond will. Hard charger, a very hard competitor. Oh. Michelob Ultra and Bush. Oh. Anywho, oh! Phil Spunner!
Oh, that's very unfortunate for Philip. Very sad to see.
Oh, Jaden about almost ran into Tyler Myers, but that also comes with fresh tires. So, poor Phil. That's alright, Phil. Keep your head in it. Collect yourself. Oh, Brandon Moore's pitting. Zach Deutscher. Tyler Myers is pitting. Oh, slow her down. Yep. Well, that's the tricky part, Will, is slowing that car down to get it to a stop.
Yes, Nashville is quite a treacherous pit entry, especially if you haven't practiced enough at it. And if you practice, you know, basically with a fresh set of tires, it's definitely not going to be the same feeling as if you're coming in with old tire.
Oh. John Held now entering the pits. That moves
James Selner in the lead.
Jacob Carter now
working.
entering. Oh, he's in that. Haha! Voltron. There you go, Will. That's a little bit better view.
Yes, indeed. Very colorful car.
as he makes his pit stop. That's the way to get down pit road. Just like that. Not hard charging down there.
James is very conservative getting on pits. Wow, Joe Stipe takes over the lead.
Good for him.
Indeed, getting to lead a couple of laps here.
Good for him. The guy who stays in the back majority of the whole race, every week, still, and as Will says, every week, still new to the simulator. Just running his laps, getting used to the tracks. Well, I was talking to him Tuesday night. He says he's not going to be a hard charger, at least until next year. He doesn't feel comfortable with the cars going from console to... Oh, excuse me. Boy, I'm a pig.
Yes, he doesn't feel comfortable going from console to iRacing at this moment in time who got a black flag?
Phil, he was in there for 68 minutes. Must have been called speeding. That's very unfortunate. 3 laps down.
Well, I mean, he did wrap it around going into the pits, so.
Well, you know we never picked our sleepers. Never. Normally we do that before every race. But that's alright.
Let's pick them out then.
Oh! Hello!
Hello.
He probably scared the dickens out of Will, but that's alright.
A wild Austin Moore has appeared.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
How's it going, gentlemen?
Well, currently 42 laps into this race here at Nashville. And we have seen a lot of excitement.
Yes, I see that they have gotten their first, is this the first green flag pit stops in?
Yes. First cycle of green flag pits have cycled out. Well, not completely, my apologies. Joe Stipe is still out there.
He now pits. Well,
okay.
That has me wondering. He's going to try to do it on one less stop compared to everybody else. If he can.
That's what it looks like.
If he can do it, good for him. Good for him. That man
really
works
able to save.
That'd be one hell of a job.
I'm sure you can tell the difference between who's locked in and who ain't. So we can go over that. Oh, well, I never got over how close the points are. I think Brandon Moore and Raider, I think, are 1 point off from each other. I'm not sure. I can't assume. I have to know this. So I better go back to my handy dandy notebook. Oh. Anywho.
Man, Brandon Moore's got a 5-second lead over Jaden Sanchez. Yeah, Nick is not in our race, thank God. Anyway,
Who?
Yeah, the ARCA driver. I said Nick Sanchez.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean,
yeah, I accidentally.
Just pretend I didn't say that.
John Held having a good run, man. He is just inside the top 6 still.
So is Ernest King. Everybody's doing good tonight, and this is this is how racing should be. That's for sure.
Myers trying to get by Ernest.
Sorry. So the points are: Longitch has 2,112. Brandon Moore has 2094. So, and right now Brandon Moore is doing a great job. Longitch has to. Oh!
That was a close one.
Yes, we've seen that earlier tonight. That stack up that you can see someone just letting it roll a little bit more through the center of the corner, and then the 1 or 2 drivers behind that person just, oh, hey, you're going to let it roll that long? And They want to get back down to the gas, and that person in front is just not back in time, I guess you could say. Almost had another stack up. Everybody's kind of somewhat spread out single file except for this group back here. Deutscher got around Sanchez for second place.
These guys are doing a pretty good job based on the experience that I have in this track. The track can be pretty tough at times.
And there
Great
you go.
battle going on for second.
As we
Wrongage.
Oh yeah, go ahead. My apologies.
I was just gonna say Wrongage was just lurking behind this little group here.
It's 3 RKRs and a Zach Deutscher. Well, as we got on to Deutscher's car, we saw the gap difference between him and Brandon. So Hunt Saker's back into the pits. As you see right here, Brandon's already through turns 3 and 4. Oh, I keep forgetting I got the map pulled up here. So you see for Deutscher just going, well now coming out of 3 and 4. And Brandon Moore is just about to go into turns 1 and 2. So. Oh, Phil loses her.
Oh! That was almost...
Good save, Phil.
That was almost trouble.
Yeah, well, Phil knows how to wheel and deal.
You trying to dirt track it?
Uh-huh. As Randy Koking is under attack from the man himself, James Selman. Well, those playoff drivers are all scattered around, that's for sure. '51 of 135 in the books. As Tyler Myers and Selner duke it out. As Randy says, go ahead, you two keep doing it. I will try to pull away and all that. But now Randy's like, oh darn, well, they gave up on that. So now I'm going to be under attack by James Selner.
Yes, Commonsberger has been able to pull away slightly from this little group here. And Randy was trying to do the same, but Selner has closed the gap back down now after he got past Myers.
So last week, they were at Bristol, and that's where Nick Rader locked himself in. So that was great. I'm glad that Rader's in, and he was a fierce competitor with Brandon Moore and all the rest of them. But Justin Steve's running really good tonight, top 10. As you see, James
Yes, he has found some good track position or good strategy that has really helped him out.
Yes, as we see, James Selner tries to get by V19 of Randy. Myers attempts to make the pass underneath Randy. Randy said, all right, just go ahead. That is your spot.
Have at it.
Yes.
But James going to get really wide up the track, going to lose the spot to the one car of Myers. Possibly another one to Randy that he just had overtaken.
Oh yeah. Well, let's see here if I can remember.
Looks like Selner couldn't plant the nose properly in 1 and 2, and he just walked up the track.
Oh yeah. Well, next week these boys are at Kansas.
Ooh,
That should be a fun
that'll
one.
be. Yes, indeed. James keeps having a problem with his exit out of turn 2. He can't get the car planted or turned how he wants it. That's a struggle.
He'll get it. You see Ernest King now making, I believe that's his scheduled pit. Yeah, it is. Ernest King now making his scheduled pit. Wow, this field is all spread apart. Philip Richmond now in serving his. Man,
These are not scheduled pit stops.
No?
No,
Oh.
they're about 8 laps shy of what should be scheduled pit stops. Because they started pitting from lap 32 to 36. So they've only been running just over 25 laps.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you are correct. And you're always right, so... you know... a little bit more than I do, because why... Oh, look, and there's Josh. Hello. Welcome. Nice to see you out there on track. He's another one that rides around, and currently the last car on the lead lap. So...
hang in there, Josh.
sitting back here, gonna do... Oh, Hunt's... Oh, that's right, he's on fresh tires.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boys, there you go. I think Josh is conserving. He ain't pushing. He's on his own strategy.
Oh, yep, Schaefer tagged the wall. That was Schaefer in the 23.
Uh-oh, something happened to Bridgman again. He's still in there. Oh, man.
Oh, no, not Phillip. That's crazy.
Nick Rader now making his scheduled pit. Second
No, caution is out!
Nick Rader crashed. I guess slowing down, trying to downshift to get in to the pits.
Wow, that was kind of... I'm shocked that the race didn't keep going.
No, they... NASCAR for you. That's what NASCAR would have done. So... Well, that was a nice green flag run. That was, I can say.
Indeed it was. I was almost kind of surprised that Nick Rader was choosing to pit that early. He was still about 5, maybe 4 laps from his actual pit window being completely open. But nevertheless, kind of surprised with that strategy. But he is, like you said, locked in and willing to do any type of crazy strategy as everybody catches up to the pace car. Or yes.
So, Joe Stipe will be the lucky dog. Good for him.
Look at that. Josh got saved by that caution.
In a way, yes.
Sixton stayed out. Anyway, I guess we'll talk to Skyler.
That's an interesting move, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mr. Sixton.
Yes, sir. What's up?
How are you, sir?
I am good. You yourself?
We're all right. So, what made you stay out during this caution period?
I'm not staying out. I'm actually gonna pit right now. So there was a little mix-up. I was trying to get down to the pits, and it told me to pass 48 and all this mumbo jump. I racing.
Gotcha. What's your thoughts of the racing so far, Skyler?
So far, so good. It's been, Nashville, green flag. Seems like everybody gets this track or something. Gets it's a rhythm track, and unfortunate stuff happens. So, it's Nashville.
Well, Skyler, best of luck to you. Thanks for being able to talk to us.
Oh yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Alright, buddy. Good luck.
Thank you.
Sir, good luck.
Let's see who we can also talk to. Oh god. Hello.
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 Hey, Justin. So earlier you tried some nice strategy. You were up in the top 5, top 10 a while ago. You gonna try to get yourself back into the top 5?
I'm going to try to if we get enough either green flag runs or enough cautions, because it's about 4 of us who stayed out on that first caution who didn't take tires, so we've had to start playing a tire strategy. All those guys that pitted in that first caution might not have any tires at the end of the race.
Yes, you might have an extra set laying there. Yes, indeed. What do you think about the racing so far tonight, Justin?
It's been going good so far.
I was
I'd
really
say a lot.
surprised. Go ahead, Justin.
I said there's a lot of different varying strategies tonight, so it's kind of throw the race for a little bit of a loop and everything. People trying to save tires, do different strategy and stuff, so it'll be interesting to see how the rest of this race plays out.
Yes, it will. I have to agree with you on that, Justin. Best of luck to you, man. Go out there and get them.
Thank you, Will.
Good luck, bud.
Thank you, Ryan.
All right.
These guys trying to perform, some not so much.
Well then, Nick Rader is the only one a lap down. Everybody else has got a wave around. Wrongich.
Ernest King is out now, and Kyle Heath. Oh, Kyle Heath's been out. Well, look who's back up front.
Oh, you're gonna say Wrongich. Who is in the front? Oh, hot second. Yes, Wrongich and Moore, the front row yet again.
And Zach Deuscher.
Yes,
Look at that.
he is finally there. He has made his way up there.
Brandon Moore with an excellent start, Will. As he
That's exactly what you need.
Mm-hmm. It's the Zach and Zach show again, Will.
Yeah, they are battling for second place. Would not be surprised if Deuscher gets it, though.
And then here comes Jacob Carter into the mix. So,
Kind of looked like Deuscher let him have it, though, going into turn 3. Looked like Wrongich got back around the outside of him. It was James Sellner battling for 6th position alongside John Held. Oh, and all this gaggle back here. Oh, my goodness. Got Tyler Myers just in front of that.
Jacob Carter. Oh, Sellner with a save.
Yeah, Sellner becomes a lawnmower for a moment in time as well. He's going to lose a lot of spots. As Nick Rader did a slide job on Myers, but Myers is going to come back with some momentum on that bottom side, do a crossover on him.
And I do notice, Will, when they put the rule in that no clearing any type of black flags, they tend to do good and they tend to save their car to avoid going down there. So,
Oh yeah.
so that's maybe a good thing. So that rule was put in effect tonight, I do believe. So everybody's doing good with that, and here's our little battle here. Oh, now we're back here to Skylar Sixton. Oh, Joe Stipe with a wide entry. Josh Small in the back there trying to get by that 23. Well, new tires equals very loose car, especially on concrete.
Yeah,
like
it's cold
Dover.
tires. Yeah, trying to get them up to temperature can be very hazardous to your health on a concrete track, that is for sure. Concrete Doesn't necessarily like to heat up like your regular pavement asphalt.
This
So,
is the battle for P4, Will.
yes, Deutscher and Carter having a good knockout, drag-out fight for it. Longitch trying to reel in more with his fish hook, but I don't think he has it planted yet.
As Jim being under attack by a lap down car of Raider. Raider's going to try to get his lap back the hard way.
Well, if the caution comes out, he is saved by that, but
We don't want to see that, but it'll be good for him, though. I like to see who can do it on strategy. I've always liked things like that in enduro racing, so, you know.
oh yeah.
He's locked in, so he ain't got nothing to worry about, so, you know. I'm glad, once again, like I said it before, I'm glad he's locked in, so. Yeah, I think he would be a strong competitor going into the Final Four. That is for sure. Him, Brandon Moore, and I would say Wrongnich, and whoever else. I don't know who I can see in that 4th spot. Well, I just don't know. There's a lot of great competitors out here, so I don't know who could be that 4th. No, but anything could happen. Will you know that? Like this year, in the actual
Oh yeah.
NASCAR, anything's possible, so we don't want to assume, we just wait and find out. So
I can see Carter, maybe even Sanchez getting that 4th spot, you never know.
Jacob Carter, well, like I said, Sanchez is in a must-win situation right now.
Is he?
But yes, he missed the first race and the second race. Yes, and that's unfortunate that he done that, so that kind of already put him in the hole, so. But Jim Kohlmensberger, great run by him tonight there. P8. John Held, good run by him too.
Indeed, both of them having an excellent run. John Held just outside the top 5, battling with Randy there.
Randy doing good. Randy has a strong car tonight. All these playoff guys do. So it's just a matter of fact of when will these tires give up and do their thing. Because personal experience myself, Xfinity cars, they tend to, they enjoy getting their tires beat up and stuff like that. But Jim is a hell of a competitor. I like Jim. He's great. I'm glad that Held is doing very good tonight too. So, I mean, those boys are strong competitors over there on the SRU side. And oh, Randy, easy, big fella. There you go. Well done.
Those non-playoff drivers competing.
I'm glad that
Sure,
they're in here. Yes. Well, was it the trucks we have that, or is it the Cup that none of the playoff drivers won in yet? It's always been, I think it's been an outsider. I can't remember. But Randy is applying pressure to John Held in that 17 machine of the Ford. Randy saying, hey bud, I'm here. I'm a lot more aggressive than you. So, and that's why I like my group. They are very aggressive. They attack. But these guys are all great. But it's always good, Will, to see different types of drivers out here. So, you know, our guys are a bit vicious and all that other stuff, but
Yes, the many different racing lines and entry points, lifting and braking. Everybody has different racing lines compared to others. It's always great to see them.
Good evening,
Hey,
Brian.
Jacob
Good
Carter.
evening,
Oh my lord, more people just seem to jump in here. Hello, Jason.
Will. How you guys doing tonight?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. Just
Jacob,
watching.
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I shouldn't interrupt.
Yeah, Jacob Carter running down Brandon Moore.
My man, Jacob Carter.
He got past Rongich, and he's setting his sights on Brandon now. Deutscher, I believe he's
riding.
He is in conserved mode. He is riding. He is just waiting, I believe.
I agree,
But
Will.
man, Jacob Carter all over the back door of Brandon Moore of that 9 car.
Well, I know Carter for a very long time, and so do you.
Unfortunately.
We know how Jacob can be. He can attack. I mean, a lot of people don't like it with the way he attacks. But as you see here, Brandon Moore giving Carter all types of room.
In about 10 to 8 more laps, we should see green flag pit stops if it stays green here.
Oh, Carter hit the apron
Swat.
there.
Here comes Rongich now.
But Carter's
About to
going
be
to
a
stay.
3.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm just going to say about to be a 3-car battle for the lead here. Rongich trying to get and dispose of Brandon Moore. But Jacob Carter now has control and pace of the race.
And Jacob Carter's BNR Xfinity car. Oh, John Held comes in, Randy Koken comes in. Scheduled pits for those. I think John Held's playing the try to make it on one more stop. But I don't know.
No.
Looks like Jimmy's pitting.
Jimmy, who the hell is that? Oh, Coleman'sberger.
Coleman'sberger.
My man, Jim.
You guys, I don't know if you guys noticed, but John kind of almost missed the pit center.
Who?
John Held, he almost missed the pit center.
Oh,
Yeah, we've had
John.
a couple of guys almost miss the pits entering tonight.
yeah. A lot of them spun it too. Oh, another driver out. Oh, Matt. Something has occurred to that Ford machine. But anyway,
3 drivers out of the race.
Jacob
Hapsacker,
Carter.
King, and
Heath.
Yes.
Something happened to him early. I would have liked to seen Kyle stay in because I know what he's got. He's a.
Yeah, he was charging up through the field pretty good, and then
Yeah, he was.
next thing we know, he's out of the race.
He's a strong competitor everywhere. He is a tough one to beat. I mean, I did beat him on Sunday, but that's besides the point. Anywho, Jacob Carter with a almost half a second lead over Rongich. We won't. That's all
And
right.
it was also Daytona. I mean, anybody. I could have won that race with
No, you
my
couldn't.
mind powers of. Yeah, like anybody. Like
I mean, I had
it's
a team,
Daytona,
but
Brad.
I've done it myself, so I mean, you know.
You had a team, but everybody basically died.
Yeah, but I mean,
Game plans only go so well until they don't.
Cameron can only wreck the field so many times, and then
Ah!
surprised he's still over there. But that's just my opinion. We love you, Cameron. I'm allowed to make fun of you only, so because I know
Yeah, it
me
was
and
a
Will known you a lot
sad
longer.
moment. When I saw him do that or help trigger that, I was like, oh man, I was speechless. I was just, I don't know what to say here.
What a great way to represent BNR. Yes, You've done what we asked you to do and take out the whole field. That is not what we told him to do. He done it on his own. But anyway, get back to the action here.
It was
Oh,
almost
boy.
priceless. I
was.
was literally speechless.
Well, see, he's not...
I saw it coming. I saw it coming the entire night. I was
Uh-huh.
waiting for it to happen.
Philip Bridgman now making his pit stop. That's why I got my little track map there, because I can see who gets into the pits before anybody else tells us. I always like to keep that up a little bit, but it's always good to have a pit road reporter, absolutely. It is. Because he's probably a little bit more on point than we are, so it's always a good thing. There ain't nothing wrong with that, just like they do cutaways. And alright, now let's go talk to the pit road reporter here. What's going on with the 20 pit crew? Well, you know.
Okay. Okay, stop it, Brian. So, yeah, very...
Like Brandon Moore is fixing to bring it in, guys.
Brandon Moore, yes.
And Mr. Smalls.
My man! Wonderful CTO
Very...
guy. He's my next Triple H. Oh.
Very,
Zachary, bringing it in, guys. Nick Ryder will be bringing it down pit road.
Raider. Wrong inches down. See? Pit road reporter, Sanchez.
Mr. Carter's going to bring it down. Mr. Dusher's going to bring it down.
Deutscher. Sorry, it's just a habit. That's how it. I know it's spelt the other way, but German. Sure.
Anyway, I would suspect to see the next cycle of pit stops at lap 120.
Leaders coming in.
See that? Well, we got our pit road reporters doing a hell of a job. I love it. Hey, it just makes our life easier, so we know.
Lap 119 or 120 is when we should see the next cycle of pit stops occur.
Mr. Skylar Sigmund and Tyler is going to be bringing it down pit road.
Oh, Skylar 60, my man. Tyler Myers. I think Sellner's going to stay out for another, I want to say 2 to 3, and Joe Stipe's going to stay a little bit longer, Will. He stayed out quite a long time before.
Yes, so, it all depends on if he is saved like he is saved before.
This is interesting. I'm interested to see how this works. Oh,
I'm interested to see how much longer Steve stays out. Oh, man.
You saw that, right? It was like a little contact.
Nice urgy-burgy going on there.
Sanchez.
Number 23 of Christopher is going to be bringing down pit road, guys.
That's perfect. Look at that. Boy, everybody's having a hard time hitting the pits. We had
well, they could use the access road if they wanted to, but that burns a lot of time. You lose a lot of time using the access road that was designed for the Indy cars.
Oh well, you see Sellner now in the lead. But I do believe Sellner coming down the pits. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
As we rotate to John Held. So he'll be sitting P4 after all the cycles go around.
Justin Steve's pits with Sellner. And Joe Stipe becomes the race leader now for probably another 3 laps, maybe?
Zach Deutscher.
Number 13 of Joe is going to be bringing down pit lane.
Oh, okay, never mind. He's coming in this lap. Gotcha.
Zach Deutscher now, big. Thank you, camera, for switching. Zach Deutscher makes his pass on John Held as Tyler Myers gets by Joe Stipe to get back on the lead lap. And Josh Smalls right there behind him to get himself back on the lead lap. Now the only one could Nick Rader unlap himself, which I believe he can.
Well, he's still a lap down, Brian.
Yeah, I know that. Oh, that's right. He's going to stay a lap down. That's right. I forgot. My bad. Yeah, you're right. Brandon Moore, Rongich, Carter, Deutscher, Held, Sanchez. Koch and Coleman'sberger will be 16, Myers, Small. There you go.
From 4th and gained 3 positions after that. That's crazy.
Who?
Brandon Moore, he pitted from 4th
Oh, yeah.
and gained 3 positions after that.
Oh. But now
Good job by
remember.
that pit crew.
Oh, yeah. His pit crew must have been on fire.
Well, that's the power of short pitting as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The undercut to perfection.
Well, do you think now they can make it all the way, or do you think they'll have to pit one more time?
One more pit stop, Brian. Like I said, the next cycle should start at lap 119.
Okay. Right on.
Just got to go to Aaron's and do the math.
Oh, I don't like... No, that's right. Well, Jim having a great run here tonight. Randy, too.
Yes, both of them inside the top 10. Wouldn't say comfortably at this moment, but they are both inside the top 10. John held in that 5th position. He's been either in 5th or around that all night, about 8th to 5th all night, I would have to say, for that 17 car. Having a good run tonight, John is.
Oh, yeah. I think he's getting some practice laps in for next Wednesday. I do believe they're at Nashville. I do believe. I don't know how to go look. But we're on Thursday, so a whole new day. And John, we appreciate you coming out to the BNR Xfinity. Show up more often. We love you. But anyway, go ahead.
I was just going to say Sanchez looking for a way by.
Beating up the back end of that 17. John's going to make it difficult for him to get by, which is a good thing. Racing's racing. So, as John Held gives him the room to pass, and Jaden about almost fishtails off. I don't know. I think if Sanchez can get good points tonight, I think he would be okay. Unfortunately for Phil, because right now, Phil and, I think that's Will's mic, I don't know. Yes, that is Will. That's right, Will, we love you. Bridgman and Randy were tied going into this final race. Well, hello?
Is my mic still messing up?
No, there you go. You sound beautiful now.
I'm like an angel.
Yes, he's an angel. Sometimes he's an angel. Oh, anywho, Jay Sanchez in the top 5. Unfortunately, yes, he is.
Well, I kind of think Rongich might be able to run down more before the next cycle occurs.
You see, Zach?
If only
Yep, go ahead. No,
only Nick Rader could get a caution, he would be back on the lead lap,
and
and
actually go to Stike.
he would be battling for 7th place if he was on the lead lap, but he's not.
Oh, yeah. Rongich trying to run down Mr. Moore and get that first place from him. So, Jacob Carter, a solid P3. Yes, Austin?
So it looks like he's gaining on about a 10th lap at the moment.
I'm impressed with this group. 2 cautions, oh my, really? Well, that's because they know how to get around here from the trucks. They learned that quick. So, I mean,
look for Rongich to be closing in on Brandon Moore here in about maybe 10 laps. He's closing on him in about a 10th lap, it looks like.
That says Brandon's probably trying to save. So he can probably take less fuel. But it still wouldn't add up. He would have to come in and take a just about. Well, there's John Held coming in. I wonder if he's short pitting. I think he is. That's interesting. Well, I love to see. I'd like to see that. Boy, if he does it, God bless him.
Yeah, that's a crazy strategy from John to try to split this in half here. Pit window should be opened on the lap that John is pitting, so he shouldn't have to. I mean, I don't think he'll have to worry about fuel if he pits right here.
Jim Coleman'sberger now pitting.
So maybe the SRU guys know something that we don't as far as strategy goes. We saw how much the fresh tires helped Brandon Moore get to that 3-second lead with the undercut of short pitting.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that might help Coleman'sberger and Held.
Yes, see, Brandon Moore will making it hard for Wrongich to get by. Oh, as they both pit.
Oh wow, this is
And
very
Jacob
unexpected. I did not expect to see the next cycle of pit stops this early, Brian. This is incredibly wacky strategy, I guess you could say. But maybe they didn't want to be caught off guard by Held and Coleman'sberger pitting so off kilt.
Oh yeah. You see Zach Deuscher still out there, Jaden Sanchez, Tyler Myers, Selner, Schaefer, Steves. So at least we got Josh Small coming in too. Oh, Zach Deuscher now pitting. Randy Koken.
Rocket should be the leader.
Wrongich only took right sides and fuel, Brian.
That's gonna swallow him up. We'll see though.
That is a ballsy move.
I was gonna say that's a little. That's a move that I wouldn't have took. That's for sure.
Very bold strategy on the 88 side. Moore, I believe he took 4 tires, but just going to have to wait and see how much of a gap Wrongich has over Moore, if it'll be beneficial or not.
Well, Brandon Moore's a lap down right now. He's got to get by. He has to get by Jaden.
Well, yes, Brandon Moore may be a lap down, but Wrongich just in front, ever so slightly, wherever.
It's probably like a 8-second gap-ish, I believe. But that'll close down 4 tires better than 2.
Maybe a 6-second gap, possibly. Oh no, not at all. 29, 31. That's about 4. Yeah.
So Jaden Sanchez is right in front of these boys. Easy, Jake. Just run your race. Yes, Jake, you can hear me. Right. Let me holler at you through broadcast. There you go.
No, please don't. No need for that. 3.5 second gap between Wrongich and Moore. But as we suspect, Moore should be able to run that deficit down. As Nick Rader brings that Camaro in for his final pit stop of the day. James Selner as well. Just waiting for a few more people to drop in for their final pit stop of the evening. I was expecting, your race leaders to go a little bit longer, but I guess they they were getting a bit freaked out by Coleman'sberger and Held pitting early. They didn't want to get caught out with the fresh tires, I suppose. But Rongich,
with his strategy for going on 2 tires, I'm surprised he didn't stay out longer.
yes. Brian, could we get up to Rongich and more, if you don't mind? This battle with Schaefer and them is interesting, but these are, you know. Thank you, I appreciate it. Just to get a good sense or gif of how far back Rongich or Brandon Moore is compared to Rongich. There is Rongich in the center of 3 and 4, and Moore is right behind him, right there, bam, coming off of turn 4 as Rongich hits the stripe. So not quite a straightaway buffer, or basically a turn buffer, I guess you could say, between Rongich and Moore. A 2-second gap is all that separates them, 2.5 seconds.
And sun drops every day.
The number 1 of Tyler is going to be bringing it down pit road, Gus. His last and final pit stop of tonight.
Brandon is closing that gap in on him quick. Well, and that's what I'm saying. A 2-tire strategy call isn't the best for concrete surfaces. Trust me, I wouldn't do it. I would rather lose a couple more seconds and take all four tires and fill the tank up to get me till the end. Don't take a full tank, but just enough to get me to the end.
Especially the gap or the distance that they had left to run when they came down for their final pit stop. I mean, it's a little bit of a head scratching move, but nevertheless, you do expect more to be able to run Rongich down, but it might be the race winning move, but at the same time, with how much time is left in the race, you don't know.
Oh, yeah. We never know, Will. Especially with this group. That is for sure. This group is very hard to tell when and what things happen.
You did a good job of managing that 2-second lead.
Mm-hmm. It's almost as if Rongich has like stabilized with the tires with Moore.
A lap, well, not. I wouldn't say lap traffic, but
just slower traffic. Traffic that doesn't have, the same equal tires as the race leader.
Jay Sanchez now in the pits, Will.
Or not race leader, but as the ones that do have the fresher tires compared to the older tires.
Oh, Schaefer in the wall, trying to get out of the way. Rongich will take the lead. Well, maybe 2 tires. Probably was the call. Still depends. But traffic still is playing a factor. It is not over yet.
Yeah, we still have 13 laps to go. Basically 12 as Rongich comes off of turn 4 now. About a second and a half back is Brandon Moore. He is eating ever so slowly away at Rongich's lead.
I'm interested to see if he can get him. He's right there. So you see how much he gained on him. That's incredible, Will. I know Rongich isn't going to make it easy for him to get
Well,
by.
getting there is one thing, passing is another, yes indeed.
A lot of traffic will be a factor. I see a lot of them out there. Good 4 or 5 cars maybe.
You see right here, Will, he closes in that gap very so little. But I think Rongich is a lot better in turns 3 and 4. Brandon's a lot better in 1 and 2.
I think Brandon Moore is better on entry, and Rongich is better on exit. You can see Moore closing the gap on entry, and then Rongich pulls on the exit. Yeah, it's a very bold strategy. Might be the way to go here tonight, this evening, as Glacier will cycle into 3rd place. Carter is just a second behind Glacier. John Held gets 5th position back.
Brandon's not arcing his turns enough.
Joe Stipe in 6th position currently. Having a fantastic run there. But he's probably going to lose that spot to Marley. And he does. Wonder what type of strategy Joe went with there.
Right there.
Stipe will lose that position to Sanchez.
Yes, Rongich's tires basically eventually equalized, and Brandon Moore just got stuck there at the 2.5 deficit that he was able to run down Rongich to that point. And at that, everything equalized out, coming to 5 laps to go now. It's been a very rough race for some, and a very easy, breezy, beautiful race for others.
Carter now 3 seconds, just about almost 4 seconds off of Zach. So Carter's just going to settle for a P4.
Laps to go.
Yeah, you see he's not diamonding his turns right.
Yeah, it looks like Brandon has just kind of given up on it.
It's amazing he pulled that strategy off with that many laps to go. I mean, that is just absurd.
When you got good drivers, they can do it. That's the problem.
He's even pulling away at this point.
I mean, that's because he's not arcing his turns right.
Yeah.
But Brandon might have pushed too soon, so you know.
He looks a bit tight now.
No. It's alright. Yeah, it was a good race.
Yeah, he gave it a great effort.
Oh yeah. A+ for that.
I'm pretty sure Brandon was not expecting Rongich to take right sides. But hey, anything you can do to get the strategy right, make the right calls, as long as you can handle it. It's been a great race. Like you mentioned earlier, Brian, only 2 cautions of the night. It's had lots of great battles, different strategies going on all throughout the field. But it has came down to
The final lap, Will. Oh, sorry.
indeed.
Flag presented by iRacing.com.
Oh. No.
Yes,
Tom.
white flag is out, and Rongich has a great lead now, 2 1/4 seconds over Brandon Moore as they come down the back straightaway for the final time. Only 10 competitors on the lead lap when this race is said and done, and checkered flag is waving for Zachary Rongich as he comes off of turn 4 to get the checkered flag. Brandon Moore wasn't able to run him down in the closing laps. Zach Deutscher comes from, I believe he started 17th somewhere in that area to finish 3rd. Great run for him. Jacob Carter 4th, John Held 5th, rounds out the top 5 with Sanchez, Sigston, Colemansberger, Sellner, and Myers is the top 10. Pretty interesting, intriguing, and strategic race here tonight at Nashville Superspeedway.
I agree. We saw a lot of strategies. Different ones, that's for sure. Let's fix this. There you go. 3 different winners this round, Will. Oh, now we can show the results now. There you go.
Yes,
Very.
Philip Bridgman 7 laps down with that pit road entry problem he had in the first cycle of pit stops that we had under green. Very unfortunate to see his night ruined like that. But yeah, pretty good race overall, I would have to say. James Sellner comes away with a good top 10 finish of the day. Jim Colemansberger, 8th place. Great run for Jim. John Held, like you mentioned earlier, 5th place. He was pretty much there all night in or around that positioning all night. Mr. Rongich, you got a copy?
Yes, 10-4.
Hey, well, you sounded just about normal, and you sound as if you lost the race. Well, Rongich, what was that strategy there? That bold and epic strategy to get you out front. Looks like you took 2 tires there on your final pit stop. And what was the reasoning coming in a little bit earlier than I at least estimated? Just all in the strategy cards, I guess, Zach?
Well, I kept wondering, why does Brandon keep getting this massive, or, he gets a couple seconds, if not 3 seconds, coming out of pits, and I'd be taking 4. And ended up finding out he took 2. He was going 4 and 2, 4 and 2. And I realized we had to pit one more time, and if we pitted, he has to take 4. There's no way he's going to take 2 again. And I was catching him a little bit with 4 tires, but, I wasn't much quicker. The fall off wasn't really too bad. So once I realized that, and he said he was pitting, I called it out right after, and I went in right behind him. And I put in 2, he put on 4, and I created the lead, and I just had to maintain it.
And tell us about maintaining that lead. It seemed like once he got to about a second and a half, it possibly seemed like everything was already equalized out, and he couldn't kind of run you back down.
Well, I guess it's just about maintaining your composure. I mean, like you'll start to see it dwindle down, and you just gotta lock in and really hit your marks. And here slower is kind of faster. If you're pushing the front end, your tires are gonna go, and you're really not going faster. So you just gotta lock in. Don't overdrive it because you want to. You feel the pressure, and he probably felt the pressure of catching me because he's been leading all day, and he was probably pushing just a little too hard. And I think I talked to him. He said he hit the wall because he was pushing it too hard trying to catch me. So that helped me towards the end as well. So you just gotta lock in and be patient with the car. Let it do its thing.
What did you think of the overall racing here tonight, Zach?
The racing. The race was a good race, but it was so incredibly hard to pass. I mean, even when I spun and went back, pretty much I was dead last. In the beginning of the race, and I was like, oh, I'll just pick him off pretty easily, and it was just you could gain on him in the entry and rotate the center, but exit kind of just it didn't matter. Like it just kind of equaled out. So you really had to set up every single pass. But other than that, it was a great race, and just glad I fought back. I was not looking good there when I got loose. Luckily, I saved it.
Super early on, like you said, you made that mistake. You got loose. You saved it. Lost all that track position, and you fought very valiantly and hard to get yourself this win tonight. Congratulations, Zach. What's your thoughts going into next week at Kansas?
Kansas, I like that track. Not much to it. Same thing as always. Qualify good, try to stay up there, and don't make any mistakes like I clearly did today. But I guess you just got to overcome whatever you do.
Indeed, Zach. Anything else you'd like to add? Maybe give some shout-outs there?
Shout out you guys. I mean, you guys do a absolutely fantastic job. And shout out RKR and everybody, and shout out Brandon. And he drove a good race. Just glad it went my way, I guess.
Right on there, Chief. Good job.
Yes, thank you.
Locked yourself into round 2.
Watch myself. What'd I do?
What?
So watch myself. What'd I do?
Locked yourself in, bud.
You locked yourself in.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha.
Yes.
Yep.
No.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you locked it in. Awesome win. Good to see the 88 victory lane since he's retired and all that. So it's always
Yes,
good.
sir.
Don't mind me watching football. So.
Oh,
All
I
right,
don't blame
bud. Yeah.
Yep.
Good luck. We'll see you next week at Kansas for round 2. I do believe you still have the points lead going in, so that's always a good thing.
you. Yes, sir.
All right, bud. Good job.
Thank you. Yep.
No problem. Brandon boy.
What's up, guys?
Oh boy.
Well, Brandon, very sad and depressing finish to a great run that you had. You qualified on pole. You basically led most of the race tonight, and you got beat by your own strategy, it sounded like.
Well, I put myself in that boat because on that one run I got in the wall and it got damaged and I lost time, so I had to pit early a little bit and then take 2 to gain it back, and then I couldn't do double 2s and he could take 2, and that's what caused that.
Besides all that depression we had to unload there, what did you think of the overall racing tonight, Brandon? I thought it was pretty great. It looked like it was extremely hard to pass, but other than that, what did you think of it?
That pretty much sums it up right there. Hard to pass, one groove passing pretty much right on the bottom, but no, everybody did a good job. Good green flag racing for the most part, and just a good run.
Yes. Next week is Kansas. What's your thoughts and aspirations going into Kansas?
Kansas should be another hopefully green race for us. I mean, there's a lot of room there and multi-groove, obviously, a lot of different grooves that you could run at Kansas. So should play out for a lot of interesting racing and passes, and should be fun.
Now, Brandon, before you smack the wall down, how is the car handling before that? It seemed like you had a pretty good handle on the car.
Oh yeah, it felt decent. It was still tight. I will always want a looser car. That's just how I am. It's never loose enough. But it felt decent enough to be fast. I preferred the car on 2 tires versus 4, to be honest. That way it just freed it up just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think what else I could ask. Anybody else got any more questions? I can't think of anything at the moment.
Yes.
3 other people here? No? Okay. Wow.
Brandon,
What's up, buddy?
just curious, the tire strat you had, was you doing 2-4 and then 4-2?
So I did, yeah, pretty much. I was doing 2-4, 2-4, yeah, pretty much. I started off the first stop with 2.
That's what I thought, and that's
So
what
it worked out if I could have just not been a goober and knocked the wall down, and then forced myself into a strategy I didn't want to be in, and then I had to burn the 4 tires up trying to run down him, and by the time I did that, it was just way too tight.
Randy said. How did himself? Yep, go ahead.
Randy wants to know, how does one like Randy get as fast like you? Apparently.
I don't consider myself that fast. I mean, I'm decent, but it just, it's time in, just, I've been racing, different platforms, for so long, it's just easier for me to get a handle on it week to week, because I've got so much experience in it. iRacing, not so much. I've done iRacing almost a year now, but you just got to run laps and then mess with the settings on what we are allowed to change. Try different racks. Try some offset, brake bias. Brake bias is huge here. Play with that brake bias, see what feels comfortable, get the nose turning. That's what you got to do at places like this.
Well, Brandon, anything else you'd like to add? Give some more advice, or maybe get some shout-outs there, Brandon?
Oh, just the usual. Thank all the drivers who come out, and everybody did a great job. Want to thank you and Brian, as always, for calling the race. As always, y'all do a great job, and we'll take a P2 on into the rest of the championship there, and hopefully find ourselves in the contention for the championship.
Well, congratulations, Brandon. Great run tonight. Almost got the win, but not quite. Maybe you'll get it next week at Kansas. So.
Yeah, it hurts more when you caused it to your own self.
Yes, it does. A lot more depression. Just curl up in the fetal position and cry about it.
I think I would rather have been moved than done it to my own self.
Yes, sir. Awesome run, bud. You were dominant force tonight. A lot of different strategies and all that. I always say all that because I don't know what else to put at the end of it. So, anywho, great run, P2. We see you in here every week, so I guess that's always a good thing, correct?
That's the goal. That's the goal, because if you see me about every other week at least, the chances are that you'll see me in the Final Four.
Yes, indeed.
Keep on that.
I think the math adds up to that. I'm no Albert Einstein, but if 4 spots and you're interviewing the top 3, then chances are that math adds together.
Oh yeah. Awesome run, bud. We'll go ahead and get you back down there. You do sound a little under the weather. Make sure you get
Yeah, I've been this way since Saturday,
yeah.
so I really didn't even feel like running this, but I've just put so much time into this all year. It would have been a shame to throw it down
Miss
the
it, right?
pipe.
That's right. And Marley said, "LOL." You got a lot of confidence, huh?
Yeah, yeah, no, not really, not really.
Yes, sir. All right, bud. Nice to see you
Uh,
tonight, and look forward to see you on Saturday. I think Saturday's Michigan. There you
oh
go.
boy, that
Oh
that
yeah,
should be
a
that should
doozy.
be a doozy and should be a bit of a pack race there probably.
Oh, well, with those next gen cars,
Fun,
but
bro.
anywho, good luck
I think we
tonight,
should
bud.
just throw a wrench in it, and we're just gonna say that we're driving 87s at Michigan.
I would like that. Well, all right, bud. Good job tonight, and hope we'll see you on Thursday.
All right, sounds good, guys. Y'all, well, good night.
You too, and get
Take
better.
care.
I appreciate it.
No problem. Last but not least, Deutscher.
Misfit Boysher.
Going, boys.
Hey, Zach.
And I still can't put your name up here. That's okay. Anywho, go ahead.
So, Zach, how was the race with you tonight? You you drove from the back to the front, and you finished P3. You just didn't seem to have the umph, apparently, to get up there and battle for the win, though. I thought you would have, but there was a couple of times where you were in an intense battle, but you just let it go. Tell us about it all, if you don't mind.
It was the first great race. Decided to start last. Me and Philip had a little challenge so you could beat each other, but unfortunately Philip had a misfortunes again. Yeah, for the most part, I didn't race too hard at the beginning. I kind of raced a little dumb there with that 19, but that's a whole different story. But if someone's fast, generally you just let them go. But fun race. Was not expecting third. I was more expecting maybe sixth, seventh. But good run, very good run. I just followed what everybody else did for strategy. And we came out third.
Came out third. There you go. Next week is Kansas.
Ooh.
Zach, how do you feel about going into Kansas?
Love Kansas. It's a high lane track, so hopefully against the wall we'll be.
Give us a feel for how your car was handling out there tonight, if you don't mind.
Beginning of the run, it could be loose, but it was very manageable. But as the run went on, as you can imagine, on a concrete or whatever track this is, the tire wear gets pretty bad, and you start to push. So after about 15, 20 laps, you had to manage your tires pretty bad because it would go to the wall if you did not.
Anything else you'd like to add about tonight's race, Zach, or maybe give some more thoughts about the overall racing? We only had 2 cautions. Maybe explain how hard it was to pass.
Yeah, passing's not easy, especially if you don't. It's hard to make a run and make it stick, especially if you push it as much as they do, because you're both gonna obviously push up. So you gotta really not almost dive bomb people in order to pass them. Hope they dive bomb, but it's the way I look at it. It's kind of like Martinsville in a way. You get position is key around here. You don't want to be battling any more than you have to because tire wear.
Zach, got any shout outs you'd want to add tonight before we send you,
Great broadcasting, like always, guys. Very entertaining to watch. I want to give a shout out to Zach. Great win. Did not expect you to win. Thought Brandon had it, but great job to both of those. And again, cannot wait for next week. Great racing as always.
Well, congratulations yet again on the great finish. Great run tonight, Zach. Hopefully see you in the Cup Series at Michigan Saturday evening.
You bet. I will be there.
And yes, indeed, it'll be a doozy, like we just got through talking about. So, yes, indeed, great run. Congratulations. And hopefully nobody else had any more questions.
No, I'm good. Awesome job on the P3. I was wondering, I'm like, boy, Zach has a great car. I said, well, he can probably maneuver something. By the way, you stuck your nose under a place and you end up making it work. So that's always good
Yeah,
to see.
it is what it is.
Hey, it's racing,
One
as
more
I
question
call it.
for
It
you.
Yep,
is.
it's
Oh,
racing.
Phil.
With
Yeah, Phil. Austin's got a
with
question.
I guess with you being a non-playoff driver, do you plan on trying to take one from one of these boys?
Yes, I am always trying to win it, but those we got competitive fields. Zach and Brandon, they are quick. They keep me on my toes.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
I
sir.
noticed for a while you were duking it out with Carter, so that's always
That
good
was
too.
fun. I love racing with Jacob. It is always fun racing with him because we can both battle hard and know we're going to give each other room at the end of the night.
Oh yeah. But
Great
right
guy to
on,
race
Zach.
with.
Right on, Zach. We'll see you Saturday. Hopefully, maybe you can
Yes,
snag a
sir.
dub from them. So that's always a good thing too.
Hopefully.
Because I know you
Yeah.
like tracks like that, and
I love
yeah,
Michigan.
I was gonna say you're very good at Michigan. So
We'll
and
see,
then
right?
yeah, that's right. And then I will see you on track on Sunday.
You bets. Again, we'll go to what?
Uh,
Phoenix this week.
yes. All right, bud. Awesome seeing you here. Glad you show up, and we'll chit chat soon.
Yes, sir. Have yourselves a good night, boys.
You too.
You too, sir.
All right, Will. We always leave you to do it because you know.
Well, we would like to thank everybody for tuning in and showing up tonight. Just getting to watch this pretty epic BNR race here at Nashville. It was pretty fun. Only 2 cautions, great racing all around, all throughout the field. So tomorrow night we'll have the SRU Truck Series. Can't remember right off the top of my head where they are, but I'm sure they're at a fantastic facility. But until then, we would like to wish everybody a good night and a good rest of their day.